This is the accusation. They're throwing around the word treason.
I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016.
They're saying that Obama knew that Russia did not meddle in the election, did not have any impact in the election.
We must, absolutely must, hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history.
But yet promoted this idea.
James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years.
And then there's been some incredible clips of all these different news reporters, CNN and MSNBC, just saying over and over and over again, clear evidence of Russian collusion.
For 20 years, you had Obama and George W. Bush's Department of Justice go easy on this guy. They didn't fully investigate the case. They didn't show any curiosity about the case. And now Donald J. Trump is asking his Department of Justice to show full transparency. And somehow that's a criticism of Donald J. Trump and not Barack Obama and George W. Bush. If you want to criticize the people who aren't showing full transparency, you ought to go after the administrations that went easy on Jeffrey Epstein, the administrations that concealed this case for 20 years, and the administrations that failed to show full transparency.
When the glossy image of a former president meets the raw impact of unfiltered truth, the fractures don't just show, they split wide open. Joe Rogan delivers his blows with sniper-like precision and the force of a wrecking ball, while JD Vance lands a sharp, unexpected strike that cuts through the noise. What begins as a roast quickly escalates into a full-on takedown, tearing away the polished legacy to expose the uncomfortable reality beneath.
Go full screen.
What you know now, do you wish you had a third term? You know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats, looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony, I'd be fine with that.
We know he wasn't really running the country.
Yeah.
We used to think he was actually running the country, and now they're like, no, he didn't even see those executive orders. That was all auto-penned.
You know, first of all, I don't believe, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, whether you agree with Donald Trump or disagree with him, I don't believe in hectoring voters. I believe in persuading voters. Your support is not something I'm given or something I'm owed. It's something you got to go out there and work for. So one, I just don't like the tone of going in. I mean, look, the better question for Barack Obama or anybody to ask is not why black men, it's not how dare you not vote for Kamala Harris.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. The takedown kicks off the way every legendary demolition does, by highlighting the things Obama's fans would rather stay buried. The polished image, the soaring speeches, the dramatic pauses that had half the country swooning as if policy were poetry. Joe Rogan slices straight through that facade like it's flimsy drywall, pointing out that behind the charm was a politician who mastered the art of looking busy while achieving less than a DMV clerk on a Friday afternoon. Rogan doesn't pull punches. He frames the former president as a man who could sell hope like a brand. But once the cameras stopped rolling, couldn't deliver it without a teleprompter, a writing team, and a public willing to gloss over 8 years of uneven results.
You never seen it?
No.
He gets a glass of Flint tap water, and I swear to God, he drinks it like this. Watch this.
Can I get some water? I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Usually when something isn't a stunt, you have to say
It's
that.
100% a stunt. When was the last time a president stopped a speech to ask, can I get a glass of water? They would never do that. They would have water ready for him.
According to Rogan, Obama's legacy isn't one of sweeping change, but of masterful branding. He was a living lesson in self-marketing, able to spin half measures as historic strides and repackage foreign policy blunders as some kind of multi-layered strategy. Rogan dismantles the myth of the Affordable Care Act as a flawless achievement, pointing out its loopholes, soaring costs, and promises that collapsed faster than a startup on launch day. In his telling, Obama wasn't a trailblazer. He was a salesman who got the country to buy into a product loaded with hidden fees. And, as Rogan puts it, maybe the brightest stars age the hardest.
I think the best people age the hardest. I think Obama was probably like a very idealistic young man
Oh, Lord, what's going on now? Who's hollering? I can't even see it.
who really wanted to change the world. And that dude aged more than anybody.
I mean, I'm getting old, so I can't hear that well. I can't see that good.
Who
you can
aged the
see it.
least? Trump.
Trump.
Trump just
This is something that
he just brushed that shit off his shoulders like it was nothing.
We knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball.
Rogan tears into the obsession with optics, mocking the fact that a tan suit once dominated headlines for a week during Obama's presidency. Not because it mattered, but because the media preferred swooning over his style. Instead of asking why wars he promised to end were still dragging on. As Rogan puts it, the man could order a drone strike on a wedding overseas and still land a Vogue cover the next month. He drills into that absurdity, arguing that if style points were the measure of leadership, Obama would still be in office. But in reality, charisma doesn't rebuild cities, pay the bills, or repair broken systems.
The amount of backstabbing that's going on.
That's a very disrespectful attack on the American people who deserve the truth. They deserve to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic, which has been undermined by President Obama through his direction of this manufactured fake intelligence document, knowing that it was filled with lies.
Like when she got into office, you realize like you're not really in control of everything because there's another person who's in control of each individual department, and they'll stop whatever you're trying to do every step of the way. They get in the way of everything. What are you going to do? You're going to replace everybody?
Just as Rogan's roast hits a rolling boil, JD Vance steps in with the first of 3 precision strikes. He takes aim at Obama's carefully crafted image as a champion of the working class, dismantling the idea that he was ever truly one of them. Vance points out how Obama spoke endlessly about middle America, but treated it more as a stage set than a genuine priority. Under his watch, Rust Belt jobs didn't bounce back, they disappeared even faster, replaced with polished speeches about the inevitability of globalization. It's a clean hit that makes Obama's Midwestern photo ops look less like connection, and more like political theater.
Obama during this Kamala Harris administration, it changed my opinion of that guy.
I don't understand how we got so toxic, so divided, and so bitter.
He said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that.
Did you have a high opinion of him before?
Yeah, I did just as an intelligent person, a statesman. He's probably like caught up in the system. It's very difficult to make real meaningful change. You think you're going to do something and then you get into office and you're like, oh God, what a quagmire this place is. But watching him just straight up lie about
Rogan jumps right back in, skewering Obama as the Democrats' ultimate salesman of moral high ground. He highlights the irony of a president who preached transparency while running one of the most secretive administrations in recent history. From the DOJ cracking down on whistleblowers to the backroom coziness with Silicon Valley, Rogan argues, Obama didn't just play politics, he rewrote the manual on hiding the ball while looking virtuous. The heat rises when Rogan compares Obama's Nobel Peace Prize to handing out a championship trophy before the season even begins, noting that, once in office, peace took a back seat to preserving the status quo. He refuses to let nostalgia blur reality, painting the post-presidency Obama as a man lounging on yachts, signing Netflix deals, and raking in 6-figure speech fees from the very corporations he once vowed to rein in. The hypocrisy practically writes itself, and Rogan squeezes it dry, calling it the richest retirement plan ever created by someone who claimed to despise corporate greed.